Kamala Harris voters, I'm going to make you feel good and understand what's really going on. So pay attention, my fellow liberals and leftists. This is June 21st. Big happy birthday to my nephew Quincy. And I forget how old Quincy turns. Dang. But happy birthday to you, Quincy. Here's the thing I want you to understand very quickly. Very quickly is this. We are in a beautiful place to win. But it's got to get worse before it gets better. It's just like throwing up or having diarrhea. It's not something we want to do, but it's something we got to do, and our body propels or expels it from, the disease, the foreign objects from us. And it's meant to do that. That's what we got to do. We got to go through some rough times in order to pull this off. So him sending troops to our cities, I welcome it. I want him to do it. All it's going to do is piss off the rebel nation. Who am I talking about when I say the rebel nation? Us, all of us. Do you realize how this country got built? By saying, yeah, we ain't going to take that, Britain. Yeah, we ain't taking that. You ain't going to jump us. And remember, we're the same people. I keep reminding you that 5 years ago when there was a deadly disease, the biggest pandemic in American history happened 5 years ago. And they told them, stay inside, mask, vax, keep away from each other. You had people in packed parties. Of every background. It wasn't just black, white, green, purple, up and down. Everybody, to a fault. Because next week they were like, dearly departed, this person is that. I mean, that's who we are. You can't come after us. You can't boss us around. You're not the boss of us. Shoot, that's our American dollar. And you're not the boss of us, and you're not going to. Hey, we are not taking that shit. We don't do submit. We don't. That's the DNA of our country. So you mean for 1 second you think, oh, they're sending troops. That's so horrible. No, they're activating our base. Why do you think we had 2,000 people last week? 2,000 events with 10 million people in it. Because we're just a wee little bit upset. You're going to send more troops? You're going to upset more people? First of all, I don't believe he's doing it. He's a punk. He ain't going to do it. He's a punk and a coward. He ain't going to do it. That would be a wrong move. But just the fact that he talks about it gets the narrative over the headlines right there with the Iranians, right with him saying on Juneteenth that they need to stop having holidays like this, right with saying I need 4 or 5 Nobel Prizes after talking all week about bombing a country. Do you realize the game? Here's where it happens. On Sunday, Monday, he's going to create something that goes through for the next 3 to 4 days. Then he's going to create something on Friday that goes through for the next 3 to 4 days. And Steve Bannon has said publicly, please stop doing that because they're going to know our play score and it's going to wear out. It is. Because the more all of you understand what this is, the better it gets. That's the good news, Kamala Harris voters. That's the good news. That's the real news. Because when you see tactic known, tactic blown, right? Think about it. He's the Marvel of presidents. The Marvel universe. Marvel is failing. Their last 12 movies were, okay? Why is that? Why are they failing? Because they took the same playbook over and over and over, didn't try anything new. Why are Hollywood movies failing? Clearly because they took the same ish. During the summer, we bring out our best blockbusters, but it only take you so far because at one point you got to start investing in original independent film. That's how it works. The companies that are making the most money are the ones who are making the independent films, doubling them and making money. Used to be black films. Like back in the 80s, Spike Lee's films were profitable several times over. I mean, it cost them a couple of million to put together Do the Right Thing. It made 50 million. You understand? And it's a classic icon. And then they began to understand, maybe minority films do mean something. Maybe black films are something. There's 40 million, there's tens of millions of us in the country. Why would there not be? Why would there not be a base? That's how Tyler Perry made $1 billion. Seriously, that's how he did it. because they didn't think he had a base. But he went through the gospel circuit, the chitlin circuit, built up. So everybody went for Diary of a Mad Black Woman. I promoted that through iHeartMedia Clear Channel. And I knew it was going to be big because there was a base there to show up. He did like 20 million in the first weekend. And they were like, how did this happen? Black people. But not just black people, but the core audience. If you got a core audience, whether it's black, Asian, Latino, whatever, they're going to show up for their stuff. Their stuff. What they need to be doing, films need to do more independence. Well, let's go back to Trump. He's not trying new things. What scares me about Vance, and I believe Trump could be resigning inside of a year. I've said this before. What scares me about Vance is more slick than that. He ain't going to do the same thing over. He ain't going to do the Marvel universe. If it ain't working, he going to flip game, trip game, and he's going to be underground. He's a smoothie. You got to watch it. But as far as Trump's concerned, he's completely destroying it. And he's an idiot. He's an idiot, y'all. So we are winning. Our best days are ahead of us. But we got to go through it. But it's got to get worse before it get better, like I said in the beginning. Hang in there. It's going to be all right. Did I earn your subscription? If so, I'd love to see you there.